tonight.
Was there anything in spring that you were working on that you carried on to this start?
Just that last start, you want to treat it in spring. You want to treat it just like a big league game. Mixing stuff in, throwing off-speed stuff, and fastball counts, and was able to do that. They chased a couple sliders. Got away with some pitches, obviously, but like I said, Chris was throwing out the right fingers, and we're pretty much on the same page the whole day. So it's good to it's new for him, new for me. So anytime we can get on the same page this early is great.
Jered, was there a sense of relief that finally got some runs there in the eighth? It's been obviously something you've had to deal with quite a bit, where you haven't gotten the run scored early in the games. To finally get a big inning like that, early on this season, does that feel good?
Yeah, absolutely. It's my job to keep us in a game, and it's up to those guys to put some runs across the board. Obviously, it's always nice to get them early, but that's always not the case. So those guys were able to get to the bullpen and get some timely hits, and it was awesome. It was fun to watch. We've got a great lineup, so it's just a matter of time before we start putting everything together.
Jered, you've never really had great spring numbers. How is it so easy for you to kind of flip the switch for the first game of a regular season? Is that something that you've been really good at?
Yeah, those numbers aren't on the back of the baseball card in the spring. You're just trying to go out there and get some work in, and get the timing of your mechanics down, and get the timing of the speed of the game again. I'm not going to go out there and pitch like I would during the regular season in spring. More fastballs, and like I said, the last start, I try to treat it like a big league game as much as possible, mixing in off-speed stuff and fastball counts, and go from there. But it's much easier when the lights come on and it's Friday night, and we got a packed house, and it's a different kind of environment than spring training, that's for sure.
Chris, what was it like for you tonight? Just your first time, catching the Angels, catching Weaver, especially the opening day game for you.
It's a great experience. Like we said, it's a packed house, and there's a lot of adrenaline. It's the first game. It's a culmination of a ton of hard work in the off season. For most of us, we only take a few weeks off, and then we get going, and then we go through a long spring training, which requires a lot of work and a lot of effort. But to come out here and be in front of a packed house, for me to be able to catch a guy like Weave was awesome. Anything I put down, he pretty much threw. Like you said, we got on the same page early, and that was fun. And after that, it was just try to get him as relaxed as possible. And with Weave and the rest of the staff, they've already pretty exceptional. It's my job just to get working with them, feel them out, and make sure they don't have to adjust to me too much. So it's been fun. I was happy that I was able to work out like that.
Jered, excuse me if you already answered this question, but how were you nervous before the game?
Always nervous. It doesn't matter if it's opening day or the last start of the season. We're out of the playoffs. You're always nervous going into a game. Obviously, a little bit more starting the season out, but luckily I've had a chance to start some opening days, and I'm not saying that I get more comfortable, but you know what to expect. You don't want to go out there and feel amped up and work with the crowd. You want to calm yourself down and just go to work and focus on the mid. So it's always nerve-wracking going into a game, no matter what it is. But felt a little bit more relaxed than in times before.
How pleasing to have this kind of performance so quickly out of the game?
It's always nice to get off on the right foot. Like I said, I gotta give a lot of credit to Chris. We've worked hard. He's a hard worker. He wants to get to know the pitching staff, and if he doesn't have something right, he's going to ask the right questions, and he's going to ask any question to make sure that we're on the right page. So it was like I said, it's new for him, new for me, working with a new catcher, and it was nice to get on the right foot, no doubt about it.
Jered, there were a couple of in the dirt strikeouts that you got that Chris made the play on. How comfortable does that make you feel like you can throw something nasty like that in that situation?
Yeah, well, I knew when Chris came over that he was a heck of a defensive catcher. I talked to Tulowitzki a little bit about him, and he's a workhorse. He's a rock back there, and I gotta have that confidence with any catcher, and especially Chris. I have that confidence with Bobby. I had it with Mathis and Napoli. You gotta have that confidence on an 0-2, 1-2 pitch that if you bounce that thing in the dirt, that they're going to come up and block it. So there was some tonight, and he did a heck of a job of keeping balls in front.
Chris, how nice was it for you to be a part of that eighth inning, Chris, especially offense? You came up with that big hit.
Yeah, it's fun. The hardest one of the year is always the first one, so I was happy to get that one out of the way. I just want to be able to contribute this year as much as I possibly can, and being able to do it in a big situation. And great time. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, Jered, is it
Couple
any
more questions.
different at all this year as far as the anticipation of the season? I mean, obviously been here for a few years, but, you know, with all the off-season hype and the addition of Pujols, Wilson, some of the guys, is there any difference in the start of the season as far as just the atmosphere?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more electric. You know, obviously there's been talks in off seasons before about you know, picking up some free agents, and hasn't quite worked out for us. But you know, anytime you pick up a guy like Pujols, Wilson, obviously trade for Ianetta, and you know, pick up Hawkins and bring in Inzerhouse, some veteran guys down there in the bullpen, you can't help but be excited. You know, obviously Albert brings a lot of people to the stadium, and you know, I think that the Angel fans are pretty excited about this year, and you know, we're going to go out there, like I've always said, it looks good on paper, but you know, we got to go out there and make it work. There's a lot of teams out there that last year that looked great on paper and didn't quite work out for them. So that's what makes baseball such a great game. Nobody's got a crystal ball, and you know, just got to go out there and let the chips fall where they may.
Bill, did you have one? As the zeros piled up, though, were you starting to wonder where all this offense you were promised, when it was going to show up?
No, that's not my job to worry about that. It's just to worry about focusing on the catcher's glove, and you know, those guys were going to come around sooner or later, and they did put together a big inning, and you know, Downsy came in and shut it down. But you know, like I said, my job is just to keep the team in the game, and you know, hopefully give them a chance to win, and you know, those guys did the rest. So it was pretty fun to watch that 8th inning.
Lance?
Chris, can you guys talk about it working as a team? I mean, you've got a third baseman who's just still learning the game, and he had a couple of mistakes. Just the patience that you guys need to exhibit when you know that you've got a teammate, you know, dealing on a learning curve.
I don't know if there's much of a learning curve, because he's a great player and a great athlete. He's worked really hard this spring at third. I mean, taking extra work every chance he gets, asking questions of all the coaches on footwork, you know, where he needs to be and things of that nature. You know, he's ready to go. You know, this game's really difficult, and you're not always going to come out and have the best day in any facet of the game. So, you know, it's not a matter of being patient or anything like that. He's our teammate. We're there for him for whatever he needs, and we expect him to be there for us. I mean, you know, he's working hard. We don't doubt his ability there at all.
Tim Brown, last question.
Sure, there seemed to be a short and heartfelt debate about your position tonight. I'm curious what your side of that is and why that is so important to you.
I just guess it's just the competitive side of me. You know, I don't want to ever give the ball up. I want to go out in there and you know, pitch until the wheels fall off. But you know, obviously, you know, the guys put up 5 runs there, and Sosha, you know, put the kibosh on it. So you know, you know, it's all good. We got some guys down there in the bullpen that can do a great job. So you know, I think it's just my competitive nature. I never want to come out of a game, but it was very understandable. So you know, we'll see what happens next time.
Thanks, guys, for hustling out for